All right. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. Well, first of all, hi. Hey guys, what's up? I should probably say like hello when I come into stream first, you know, before I start yapping. Oh, what the? Why am I echoing? Oh. Also, I'm trying to get YouTube chat up, but it is not working with me today. There it is. Got it. Finally. The wavelength is wavelengthening. Hey Saga, welcome as well. Man, sorry I'm a tiny bit late. I've been kind of tired today. I stayed up kind of fairly late working on a puzzle with my family. I didn't even... when I checked the time, I was like, oh my god, it's like 2 in the morning. I gotta go to bed. But we were so close to finishing the puzzle. I should have taken a photo of it so I could like post it or share it for you. Like show it to you guys. It's a really nice puzzle. 500 pieces. We started it yesterday and we finished it yesterday. Well, technically at the very beginning of this morning. We didn't fall asleep, so I'll count it as yesterday. Yeah, puzzles do be like that. Me and my family, all of my family, even like my cousins and aunts, and we all just love doing puzzles. But yeah, I guess I should do a little bit of an intro and then we'll just get into this. Because today we're going to be reacting to the Solve It Squad back in BIZ. Apparently episode 1 to the dog rescue. Alright. I just found out I could color pick an entire rainbow flag from one photo of Solve It Squad. So happy Pride Month, everyone. Happy Pride Month. Alright. Hi, YouTube. Welcome back to this reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to... I literally just said the title. The Solve It Squad, back in business. We're going to be watching episode 1 in this video. On stream, we're going to be reacting to episode 1 and 2. And... yeah, it's by Tin Can Bros. Go check them out. Go support them. Give them a like, comment, subscribe, follow on their stuff. You can find their link down below in the description. And while you're down there, I don't know, give me a like, a follow, subscribe as well. Maybe. I would really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, at least. But enough about me yapping. Let us get in to this reaction. I'm getting ever so slightly better at doing reaction, like intro stuff. Also, hi Asler, hey Apple, hey BTM. I realized I didn't say hi to you guys. Hello. Whew, okay. Here we are. Let's check this out. Alright. Back in BIZ was a live stream reading event originally broadcasted in the winter of 2021. Wow, that's so recent. I'm so used to all the Star Kid stuff being like years old. I guess, well, it's still 3 years old, but still relatively recent compared to all the other stuff we've been reacting to. All right.
Was a live stream reading event originally broadcast.
I didn't think he was gonna. I'm sorry, I didn't think he was gonna read it out. That scared me.
In the winter of 2021, featuring episodes from the Solve It Squad animated series being developed by Tin Can Bros. These are those episodes.
Wait, being developed as in, are they making an actual like cartoon? Like a real one? Cause that, wait, that would be so cool. I don't know if they're still making the animated series or what backstories on that. I hope they're still working on it, cause that would be so cool if they were. Oh, Law and Order.
Cold open. Interior Solve It Squad Clubhouse Day. The squad is jammed into the old Solve It Squad HQ, a treehouse adorned with maps, drawings, and memorabilia from their childhood exploits. It's way too small for 4 adults in their 30s. Keith, a delusional bro who likely peaked in high school, attempts to take charge.
I feel like you guys should get like a new headquarters, you know, now that you're adults. But then again, tree houses are really cool.
right, squad, let's hit to work.
POV of Instagram, where Gwen is live streaming their meeting. She feigns the bubbliness of an influencer with ease, relentlessly shrewd in pursuit of the limelight.
Yes, the rumors are true. The Solid Squad is back in biz. Keith,
That's the title.
tell him what we're doing.
What are you
Enters
doing?
frame, and the flurry of hearts on the screen instantly turn to thumbs down emoji.
Sure thing, babe.
Oof. I guess her fan base do not like Keith. Probably because he likes her, and it's obvious.
Looks like we got big trouble at the Little Mayberry Zoo. It seems, fam, that their one and only ferocious tiger has gone missing.
Scraggs, a straight-laced, gangly, and slightly jumpy man,
I mean, that's kind of serious.
interrupts.
Easy there, Keith. The details of squad operation should remain within the squad. Bad guys have Instagram too.
Gwen flips the camera back to herself.
You know, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Having, like, an Instagram or, like, just any sort of live streaming of your investigation, that's probably a really bad idea. Because if I was a criminal, I would just, like, watch it. I'd be like, yes, they're getting close. I gotta do something to throw them off my trail. Get some red herrings. Find Mr. Red Herring from the Scooby-Doo cartoon show.
Ooh, hot take, Scraggs. What do you all think? Send a kissy face if you agree.
Esther scoffs.
The pause there, like, I was like, I think she's just reading the script.
They are brilliant, paranoid, and heavily self-medicated.
Great idea, Gwen. I'm sure you'll get
Sorry.
thoughtful feedback from all those Russian bots.
Okay, let's put away the phones and focus up, squad. We need to debrief from last week's mess before we move on to new business.
Man, accusing her of botting. I mean, probably. No, but those reactions seemed real. If it were bots, they would keep doing hearts even after Keith got on the camera. Unless they're really advanced bots.
Post-mortem? Let me handle this. My character ended every episode of Officer Dr. Cop MD with one.
Well, as the ex-cop of the group,
God, she's still riding that wave.
my real-life knowledge is probably a bit more relevant than your experience on a TV show that kind of jumped the shark after season 2, Gwen.
You watched it?
Scraggs stands up.
That's nice, but also it jumped the shark after season 2. Bro, you gotta wait at least like 4 seasons before you can jump a shark.
Bumps his head on the low ceiling and hobbles over to a whiteboard.
Ow.
Okay. 1. During the stakeout, we needed someone to alert us when the culprit left out of the back of his trailer.
Okay, I'm sorry I forgot to charge the walkie-talkies.
And 2, we needed someone to sniff out the culprit's cologne at the science fair.
It's not my fault. Mass market scents all smell like bleach.
Well, Gwen, we should hold ourselves to a higher standard.
We've been solving shit like this since we were kids, Scraggs. We always catch the bad guy. It's in our blood.
Esther lights a joint, takes one long drag, and burns the entire thing. On the remaining filter, they do a bump of cocaine, then shotgun a beer, and then let out a huge burp. Scraggs grabs the can and throws it out the window.
Hey, whoa, that's littering. But also, they they have not changed. To be fair, from what was their name? I feel like they just said it. Was it Esther? What Esther said. I mean, they're not wrong. If they always catch the person, do they really have to improve? They're like, yeah, we messed up everything, but we still got him in the end. All right, it is Esther. I'm so bad with names.
Keith snatches it out of the air.
Sports!
Keith
Oh.
desperately tries to shake out the last few drops into his mouth.
Okay,
Good job, Keith. We avoided the littering.
well, forgive me if I don't want to make the same goof-ups we made as tweens. If we're gonna do this again, I want to do it right, all right? We need someone or something to keep us focused and our morale up. I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm 35 and I don't want to regret getting another Klubert. Was an integral part of our, and yes, totally irreplaceable, but I mean, who?
Are they gonna replace Klubert with like their version of Scrappy Doo? what would be Cluebert? Okay, so Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, Cluebert, herring. I'm sorry, I got stuck on that red herring thing. I feel like that'd be a pretty good one. Since you know, a clue is good, a red herring is bad, but it's technically also a type of clue. I feel like that's a good name type.
Are we? Who am I without that dynamic?
Sleuthbird is good too, actually. Ooh, good names.
You know what I'm saying?
Beat. The squad takes that in.
That you desperately miss Cluebert and you want us to get a new group dog?
Yes, please, God, I want that so bad. Please.
You could have just said that, man. It's all right.
Oh, this post Nordstrom just got real, son.
Oh.
Back in 1995, 4 meddlesome teens.
Okay, wait, no, okay, this is so cool. I'm sorry. I'm gonna nerd out a little bit over this animatic. The movement, the Solve It Squad thing. Okay.
Back in 1995, 4
This is okay. We got a little view of them in the past. They literally were just the Scooby-Doo gang. Okay.
meddlesome teens, and they're talking
Oh, Cluebert.
about Cluebert achieved pseudo.
Man, this is a great style. Like, if they were gonna make an actual cartoon in this style, that'd be so cool.
Celebrity status by solving mysteries that had somehow
Sorry, I.
stumped adults. They call themselves the Solve It Squad.
Yeah.
Cracking cases in the 90s style, showing crooks crime never pays. But then Kluber got murdered in a satanic ritual.
I always love that twist. Just like immediate. Oh, what a great time! Kluber has been murdered. He's dead. Really good song though. Oh gosh, Scrags. She's shattered. I love the animation. Well, yes. Oh, he got fatter as he got older. I mean, that makes sense. Whoa. I genuinely love how it's a very clear parody. I mean, it's always been a parody of like Scooby-Doo, but even in this intro, it's a very clear parody of Scooby-Doo. Like the mask removing scene and like the mummy thing. I feel like that's genuinely like right from the intro of what's it called? Where's Scooby-Doo? What's new Scooby-Doo? Also, yeah, Scrags' 1,000-yard stare is so good. Yeah! Scrags, he's so sad. And Esther, they're so mad. I love that. Oh, to the dog rescue.
Act 1. Exterior Puppy Ranch. Morning. The squad is getting a tour of Rhoda's
Okay.
Ark from the owner, Rhoda, who wears bedazzled pink glasses. The ranch is overflowing with dogs, cats, and even farm animals. The animals' dominion over the yard is chaotic and a bit sad.
Growing
I mean, you know, it's nice to give them space to roam, but that just sounds like a little bit of a mess.
Not Catholic. Lots of gals fell hard for the big guy upstairs, but WWND is what I always said. What would Noah do? Animals have souls, you know, more so than most humans. But you're not here for a sermon. You're here for dogs, right?
I feel like I already got lost with what they're talking. What is she talking about?
They pass some dogs.
So there's Buckwheat, and that's Detective Axel Foley under the porch. There's Sherman Clump cooling off by the tree there.
Okay.
They're all named after Eddie Murphy characters because he's my favorite.
Cool. She's giving that salesman vibe of like, I am being really, cheerful because I want you to buy what I'm trying to sell you. Is it working? Ah. Oh, and it's so uncomfortable. Nailing the vibe. If I remember correctly, Rhoda Arcs was one of the sponsors. Yeah, of the Grunch. They did it in her like theater place, right?
A cute dog sidles up to Rhoda. She picks him up in profile.
Aw, how about little Norbit here? Very well adjusted considering his run-in with animal control.
She turns the dog around to reveal a robotic arm and a Terminator eye. Keith looks away in fright. Rhoda puts Norbit down
No, in fright, bro. That's so cool.
and he playfully lolls away.
Actually, Rhoda, Scrags is too nice to tell you this, but we're in a bit of a hurry, and he's looking for something very specific.
Yeah. Do you have any talking dogs?
A pregnant pause while Rhoda sizes him up.
Talking dogs.
Guys, Rhoda, I mean, it can't be that weird. You have a Terminator dog here. And everybody knows the Solvent Squad had a talking dog. Actually, I'm sure she has one.
Yeah, we got those. But I have to charge you a higher adoption fee than, say, Pluto Nash here.
She holds up a dog-sized iron lung with a tiny wheezy dog inside.
Oh, that's a poor thing. What happened to him?
Oh, I don't think we could ever love a dog like that.
What a polite way of saying no to that. Or is it polite? I feel like it's very backhanded. It's like, we could never love them. I could never love them enough, you know? Gwen is great.
Suit yourself, honey. Make a left at the hog pen, a right at the kitty corral, and they're all in that soundproof barn. You can't miss it.
Scrags nods and exits, followed by Gwen. We hear a mooing
Cool.
off screen.
Oh, time to offer some moral support to a cow who's giving birth.
Interior
What is this shelter? they have such varied everything.
talkie barn moments later. The barn echoes with animal sounds mixed with the chatter of talking.
Okay.
Oh, how about this little sweetie? She's got eyes like Kluber.
Gwen picks up a naive dog.
Oh, hi.
Oh no, this is all just a big misunderstanding. My family will be back to get me any day now.
Bless your delusional little heart.
Oof. This goes into I had a brain blast of a memory of a thing that I can't believe I'm remembering. Actually, I can't. I watched the whole video. There's this person who made a comic. This was based around the idea of how strange it is that in like cartoon worlds is a very common thing where there will be animals, like normal animals, and then talking animals, and then how talking animals are still treated like just pets, you know? And a person made a whole like comic about that. Brian as a dog, right? And you know, people treat him still as a pet even though he's literally a person who can talk and acts like a person. And I think that I'm not gonna go into it. It's a very wild comic. I think it involves like a political campaign eventually of like fighting for animal like pet rights. I think I might be confusing with another thing.
She sets the dog down, repulsed. Scrag walks over to pick up a hard-eyed pup.
Why were you repulsed by their naivety? It's sad, not disgusting.
Choosing a dog is an art, not a science, Gwen. Sure, you're considering breed, age, and pre-existing health conditions, but you're also looking for that, je ne sais quoi, that indelible first impression, that memorable meet cute you'll never forget.
I'll suck your dick if you adopt me.
You know, I think I'm starting to see why some of these dogs were given away to the shelter.
And this ain't it.
Exterior puppy ranch pasture later. Esther, Keith, and Rhoda approach the cow pen.
Okay.
Me, I tumbled out of my stroller at 9 months old and lived amongst the squirrels in an old oak tree for 3 days until my parents found me. So wildlife and me, we have a special connection.
That's some crazy lore to just drop on somebody. Just, you know, you're just chatting with a person and they're like, yeah, I was raised by squirrels because I fell out of the what? That's crazy.
She puts on enormous rubber gloves and enters the pen where Belinda, a cow, is mooing loudly in the efforts of childbirth.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sure you were pretty bummed when you heard someone in Mayberry stole a tiger from the zoo last night.
Folks will pay a pretty penny to have a big cat of their own. And meanwhile, I can't even pay people to take home these vagrant pups. It breaks my heart. I
Yeah.
hope you find the scoundrel.
Everybody wants something exotic just because they can have something exotic, which is why we have so many invasive species in different places, because they realize, oh, I can't take care of this, so they just release them. Like the amount of people that get like teacup pigs, as they're called, which they're just baby pigs, so they're small, but they do grow up into pigs that are big, and then they're like, well, I can't take care of you. Goodbye. Even though they're literally smarter than like dogs, and they're like very lovable creatures.
Well, Mayberry's pretty small, so if we can eliminate the locals, it'll just leave everyone else in the entire world as a suspect.
That's a pretty short list. I think Esther could figure it out with that. Oh, about the Pluto thing. I rationalize the Pluto as him being the equivalent of a monkey versus a human, but that's still troubling. I think pigs have been proven to be able... Yeah, they learn commands better than dogs. They empathize with, like, people, like, really well. They, like, bond with them. Very lovable. They're not dirty either, by the way. Like, they bathe in mud, but that's like a whole cooling thing, and if you just keep them clean, they'll stay clean. It's not like they're like diseased or anything.
Rhoda has positioned herself near the rear of the heaving cow.
I'll keep an ear out for you. Will you give me a hand? I gotta make sure Belinda here doesn't slip and crush her calf.
I can't. His K-Swiss or...
Well, actually, this would be an interesting experience. I think I would help. If only because I would be able to say, yeah, I helped a cow give birth. I was there. I helped. But also, that reminds me, that's like a very real risk with pandas, you know? Because pandas and, like, their babies have, like, one of the largest size differences in the animal kingdom. You know, not including, like, insects. And it is a very real risk that they'll just accidentally crush their babies after giving birth.
Brand new.
Don't mind Keith. He's emasculated around anything that demonstrates a female's biological superiority. But not me. Shall I stick my hand up Belinda's ass?
No, but I may need you to administer a sedative.
Oh, okay, rad.
Rhoda
Well, I feel like Esther has experience with that. They'll be fine.
hands a syringe to Esther, who squirts some of the sedative in their mouth, swishes it around, and swallows.
Careful, boy, you're in the splash zone.
Off screen, a loud moo and a wet plunk.
Oh.
Keith's eyes go wide, and he promptly passes out. Interior Talkie Barn later.
I'm not even surprised. Keith.
Scraggs is on his hands and knees amongst the dogs. Gwen sits on a bale of hay, modeling a cowboy hat for a selfie.
I don't know, Gwen. None of these dogs are as smart or as quippy or as cute as Cluebert.
We get it. Bluebird is impossible to replace. So, don't? Maybe you need some cat energy in your life.
No, it has to be a rescue dog.
Listen, man. Cats are great. When I was very little, I thought cats were awful. I had a very terrible experience with a wild cat, and actually I had two very terrible experiences with wild cats. But really, I should not have tried to get close to them in both cases. But no, cats are lovely. There was a cat around my church who lived in the backyard of the church. They were so wonderful. She was great. She was very lovable. I would feed her all the time, and she would cuddle with me. Again, a wild cat. I have not learned my lesson, but still.
I just don't want to force it.
Well, if these options have too much personality, there's this amazing breeder in Delaware that Goop recommended.
No.
Gwen.
And when I was joking.
No, you weren't.
Scraggs considers a few more dogs.
I'm glad he understood. He thought I was like, breeding? No, that's awful.
Wolf built this city. Wolf built this city on treats and bones.
No,
Oh.
Hey kid,
I mean, he was kind of a good singer.
I want to belong to any kennel that would have me as a member.
okay.
If you don't take me home, I'll still suck your dick.
Whoa.
Hey, we're gonna give again. Get out of here.
Almost ready to give up, Scraggs spots the rattiest dog in the bunch cowering near the back of the barn. He instantly feels pity and love for it. Emotional music swells as Scraggs walks over and offers his hand up for a sniff. He slowly goes in for the pet.
Hey, little buddy. I'm Scraggs. What's your name, huh?
The dog coughs a couple times to clear his throat, as if he hasn't spoken in ages. When the voice finally comes out, it sounds a little hoarse, like nails against a chalkboard.
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Donkey. Are you my new dad?
Doinky. Okay. Fun fact, Joey and Lauren's dog's a rescue? That's lovely. Are you my new dad is a wild line to start with, but like what could you possibly say to that, like if you're not interested in getting this dog?
Exterior zoo tiger cage day. The squad is spread out near the empty tiger cage, speaking with the zoned out zookeeper, Ken. Keith is caked in dry mud from his fainting spell. Scraggs has Doinky on a leash.
He's fine. Don't worry about Keith. He's all right.
Okay, so you went to the bathroom before your final rounds of the night, and in that time, the tiger was stolen?
Yeah, I was on the can reading an article my sister sent me written by some guy named Ronan Farrow. Boy, is he thorough.
Okay, so you were gone for at least like 30 minutes then.
Oh, I just retweeted that this morning. I thought it was such a brave headline.
So after your break, did you notice if the culprit left anything behind? Bubblegum wrapper, a footprint, clumps of hair?
I mean, this is a zoo. I don't think you'd be able to tell what's human hair and what's animal hair.
You underestimate Esther. You greatly underestimate Esther.
Oh, I know.
Keith calls out from the empty tiger cage.
Is it normal for a tiger to take such a big dump?
Well, they often release their bowels after being tranquilized.
What? You sedate the animals?
Oh, no. I figure the culprit did it before snatching up the tiger. Maybe with this dart?
Ken pulls out a small dart. Esther quickly grabs it with...
Bro, I feel like you should present that like immediately. He's like, all right, I'm not... Here's what I know, and here's the proof that I have. It's just like, if it didn't come up in conversation, would you just not have brought up that? Whatever, it's fine. These people in these shows.
with their jacket sleeve.
God, so cool, man. Fucking A. Whatever fingerprints were on this are totally compromised.
But the scent may not be. Doinky, hey, why don't you take a whiff of this, all right? Can you pick up any strange smells?
Doinky gives a hesitant sniff and perks up. Alert, he begins zigzagging around the grounds following a scent.
Donkey.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
Doinky
I feel like Scraggs is gonna be very disappointed with Doinky. And I hope he overcomes that, because I mean, Doinky was just adopted. He's gonna need some time to, like, you know, slot into their whole dynamic of solving mysteries, right? I hope
He sniffs up to Keith's
works
foot.
out.
Scraggs, I swear I'm being framed.
Doinky quickly moves on and sniffs out.
That's proven innocent.
The
We were
squad
just making sure, Keith.
follows Doinky past the bathrooms and into the zookeeper's office. Doinky makes his way over to a small table in the corner with monitors showing the security footage.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the security tapes. I forgot about those.
Ken, you are the worst witness.
Doinky sniffs
thank you for pointing it out, Esther. I was like, my goodness, there's so much evidence that we just would not know if we had to go off your word.
Around the keyboard in the tape deck.
Whoa, what is it, buddy? Smell something fishy?
Was the
What'd you smell?
catnapper in here?
Did they mess with the security tapes?
Donkey lifts up his leg and starts spraying piss all over the equipment. Everything
Oh.
short circuits and the monitors go black.
Oh,
Interior zookeeper office moments later. The aftermath.
I don't think Donkey is body trained. That is going to be an issue that must be dealt with.
Ken is trying to soak up the piss with paper towels. Gwen is blow drying the tape deck, and Keith is dipping tapes in a bowl of rice.
I'm sorry, I just read the chat. Esther would explode if they played Ace Attorney. That's so real. Some of the witnesses in that... a good percentage of the witnesses just lie or just don't tell you what they know for any number of reasons. And you know Esther's a genius, so they would immediately realize, like, all right, like with like the first couple of clues that you get, it's like, oh, that person is the villain. When they don't just reveal it. And then be like, I know who it is, I know how they did it. Gosh, why can't I get to that point? I'm replaying the trilogy, and I'm on Turnabout Big Top right now, so I'm in hell. Ace Attorney is so good.
Esther is working on salvaging the last night's tape. Scraggs is consoling Doinky.
Did I do bad? Are you gonna kill me?
what?
Whoa, whoa.
No, you were marking your territory. That's a totally normal and healthy thing to do.
Well, I mean, I don't think you should say healthy. I feel like, yes, it's really, you didn't do good, but I'm not gonna like kill you over it, or even really not gonna hurt you. It's fine. But you do have to know that you did bad, and don't do that again.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Scraggs. This piss is thick and kind of red.
Looks like Donkey has the UTA of UTIs.
Well, regardless.
What does that mean? Also, yes, get that checked out, please.
Doinky led us to our first solid lead. Esther, how's that tape looking?
It's looking like an absolute nightmare, but I'm working on it. Back in the day, I used to fix cum-damaged VHS tapes at Blockbuster. This is nothing. And...
All right, good. I thought like they had lost the footage. I mean, it's very bad systems that just let you lose footage because, that's actually a really common thing in movies. Like, something gets wet or waterlogged in like shows or movies or whatever. But computers are really surprisingly good at holding onto their information. Like, any computer you throw away, almost certainly, even if you wipe it, unless you destroy it, people can get the information off of that. That's why a lot of government, that was like a big issue with like government, like the US government, I don't know about others, throwing away computers, where people would find them and manage to, one way or another, recover the information. So they just burn the computers after they're done with them. It's the only way to make sure that like the information is actually destroyed.
And bingo.
Esther pops the tape in and fast forwards through the previous day's footage.
All right.
Where are all the guests? Was he just an especially shitty tiger?
Well, now that you mention it, attendance is probably low because the circus is in town. Hell, that's where I'd be if I wasn't working.
Oh my god, what? Already? Oh, postal tickets. The Rothman and Ringting Traveling Circus is the best.
Man,
Okay. Rothman and whatever circus. Got it. The ringmaster stole the tiger for their own show, is my guess.
management wouldn't want me to tell you this, but the circus is our toughest competition. Our animals are probably happier, though, since we don't torture them into performing deadly tricks.
Wow, way to ruin that for me.
Oh.
Did you not know that they did that, Keith? Like, most like circuses, SeaWorlds, wherever animals are doing tricks, it's very likely they're not being treated super well.
So now you tell us there's an ongoing feud between the only purveyors of big cats in town. It's like pulling teeth with you, Ken.
I didn't see how it was relevant.
It could not have been more relevant. It's like, it seems so directly related to this.
Ken, sweetie, they're called suspects, and we determine their motive to solve the mystery. Is this your first time being a witness in a major crime?
Oh, wait. Stop
Yes,
the
probably.
tape, Esther.
Two hooded catnappers appear on screen next to the tiger's cage, but the damaged footage makes it hard to discern any detail.
All right, 2 people, damaged footage.
They break the lock on the cage with bolt cutters and climb inside. As the tiger approaches, they shoot it with a dart and it falls to the ground.
Okay, this is giving us a lot of information. There are 2 people involved. They had bolt cutters, which means that they probably don't work for this barn place. I was wondering, because, you know, it's a very common thing in, like, Scooby-Doo, where a person who either owns the business or works for the business, like, betrays it for whatever, like, you know, for whatever scheme to get money. Unlikely, because if they did, they would have had the keys. Unless that's a red herring, and they knew people would think that. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be kind of confident it's probably the circus that is doing this.
Maybe this zoo circus feud has escalated, and they've resorted to stealing your attractions to improve theirs. Ain't that right, Doinky?
They turn to Doinky, who's eating a dry tape out of the piss-soaked rice.
My tummy hurts. Oh, criminy.
Scruggs tries to finger the tape out of his mouth.
I spot 2 guilty parties, meaning double trouble. Therefore, we should probably get a second opinion. New plan.
2 people can work at a circus.
New plan! We pay a visit to my Uncle Wyatt. He is a big game hunter who tried to take me to Kenya to hunt elephants.
He just like, I'm going with this idea and no one can stop me, so he just yells louder.
On my 8th birthday, but my mom called him a pathetic sociopath, so he ghosted us for like 6 years. If anyone could identify the source of this dart, it's him.
That's, again, just dropping the wildest lore. But, okay. That's not... That is good information, potentially, but, I mean, actually, no, it probably wouldn't be. Because it's more likely they'll just be like, oh, yeah, he bought it from the XY store. He's like, okay. Now what do we do? I mean, we could go to the store and be like, hey, do you have records of who bought it? Like, who bought and sold stuff? But, like, how thorough is the records going to be? And, like, you're not the police. You can't really demand them to give it to you. And they just might not. I mean, it's certainly a route to go down, I guess.
Or we could just look up local distributors on the tranquilizer dart manufacturer's website.
Or
Gwen
that.
starts typing on her phone.
Fine. Keith, you and Gwen, you head to your uncle's house, and Doinky, Esther, and I will see what we can find at the circus.
Splitting up, but keeping the power couple together. I like your style, Scraggs.
I have no interest in meeting your uncle. I'd rather die. Or worse, go to the circus.
Great, it's settled.
Keith tries to put his arm around
What's settled? Okay, so you guys are now going to the uncle, I guess.
Gwen and is rebuffed.
Well, Doinky,
Or not, never mind.
This would be the perfect time to shout out a quirky catchphrase.
Angle on Doinky, who has a disturbingly bulbous mass protruding from his rear.
My anus collapsed.
Bro. You guys, you have to take Doinky to the doctors before you can keep this up. Please. They're actively dying right now. This is awful.
Everyone gasps in disgust.
I'd wear that on a t-shirt.
Act 2. Exterior circus
All
tent
right.
afternoon. Scraggs and Esther approach the entrance of a big top circus tent. They're greeted by Jerome, a cheery usher.
Step right up, folks. Here to experience an afternoon of.
By the way, once again, they play every side character except for a couple, but all the like random people, that's them.
Sheer wonder?
If we have to. Do you take Bitcoin?
Yes, we do. Bitcoin, Litecoin, coins as big as your head. The circus industry may be dying out, but we like to stay current. See?
Jerome
Very interesting. You got that they like take Bitcoin, but also, why does Esther use Bitcoin? Like what? Like, don't get me wrong. It's if you invested early, that's a lot of money that you have. But why? It's just so weird to me.
scans Esther's phone, then notices Doinky.
I'm sorry, sir, but no pets allowed.
Oh, he's not a pet. He's a service animal.
Do you have papers? Notarized papers?
Well, no.
I mean, most people walk around with notarized papers about like this animal's a service? I've never had a service animal. I don't know. Bitcoin because it's less traceable. That's fair.
But I have a very serious case of self-diagnosed anxiety. Look, I promise he'll be no trouble.
Okay. A promise is a promise, as we circus folk like to say.
Jerome unhooks a velvet rope and
Well, thank you, Jerome. That's very nice of you. Unfortunately, Doinky is going to be a very large problem.
welcomes them in. As they pass, Doinky leans over and bites Jerome's hand.
Ow! You promised me no trouble. Get out of here.
Can we get a refund?
Security!
Esther and Scraggs
How
briefly
dare you? No refund.
walk away.
Oh, gee whiz, Doinky. What'd you have to go and do that for?
Well, he had big fat sausage fingers.
Two clown security officers run out of the tent. Esther and
Oh
Scraggs
gosh, it's the fuzz. Because the clown hair. Get out of here.
hide behind a family photo op and stick their faces in the cutouts. Esther is the dad, Scraggs is the mom, and Doinky is the baby. Jerome points in the direction they went, and the security guards turn and crash into each other, falling down like it's a bit. They get up, pantomime getting into a security golf cart, and drive away in the opposite direction.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.
We gotta keep a low profile.
Say cheese!
Camera flash. A photographer snaps a pic of them.
Yeah.
Exterior Wyatt's house. Day. Keith and Gwen walk up a long, unkempt driveway to the front.
I'm so excited to meet Keith's uncle. If Keith is any kind of indication of the kind of family he has, Keith's uncle's gonna be an experience.
Door of a big, musty house. Keith rings the doorbell, and it makes the sound of a rifle shot and an elephant trumpeting. No answer.
Okay.
Bet Scraggs and Esther are finding so many good content opportunities. Meanwhile, I'm stuck here at this gross-ass house that
Not clues, though. Not, don't even worry about clues. Just content.
frankly not fit my Instagram aesthetic.
Keith reaches up to the brass door knocker shaped like an elephant head and pushes in on the two tusks. A spare key pops out of its mouth.
We'll scour through my Uncle Wyatt's weapon cache to learn more about our mystery dart. Think of it like a great adventure, babe.
Keith opens the door, and it lets out a long creak.
Gwen is so uninterested in anything that is happening right now. He's like, this is like the worst. I would have rather gone to the circus.
Interior Wyatt's foyer. They look around the dim and cavernous entryway. Gwen pushes past Keith and begins recording herself on her phone.
Hey guys, so we're here in this creepy old house doing some sleuthing.
Yeah?
Isn't this fun? This really isn't enough light for a decent exposure, even with night mode.
Gwen flicks.
My goodness. Gwen has such a one-track mind. She and Keith really are perfect for one of that. But even Keith, I think, is less one-track than she is. Because she's fully 100% focused on making content. And he's mostly focused on, you know, her. But he does other stuff, too. Like, try to get with other girls as well.
A light switch on the wall.
Gwen, no!
Keith tackles her out of the way just as 24 arrows fire at the spot where Gwen was just standing. Keith ends up laying directly on top of Gwen. She looks at Keith deeply as her eyes begin to well up with tears.
Bro. Well, why does your... I don't think that's legal. I don't think you can just trap your house with fatal traps.
Keith, your chapstick is digging into my hip.
Right. Chapstick.
They climb back to their feet.
Oof. Oof, that's rough, Keith.
A booby trap? Paranoid much?
Well, he started doing it when I was in high school to keep me from raiding his liquor cabinet. But I was unstoppable. Back then, I was called Keith the Thief.
Keith gives a disgusting wink at Gwen, grabs her by the hand, and runs down the hall Ninja Warrior style, just barely avoiding obstacles. He hopscotches past a row of enormous bear traps.
I mean, you got to admit at least one thing about Keith. He is kind of impressive what he's physically capable of. But also, your uncle made fatal, murderous traps to stop you from stealing his liquor. And instead of stopping, you just got really good at avoiding traps. I love that, actually.
Traps that snap closed just as they passed. They rebound off the wall to avoid a trapdoor that drops open and spews 10-foot flames. Finally, they grab the chandelier and swing across a chasm to avoid a spinning saw blade pendulum. On the other end of the foyer, Keith stands with Gwen in a triumphant but pained pose.
Imagine how that would have looked animated. That'd be so funny.
Easy peasy.
You're not young anymore, Keith. It takes a little energy out of you to do that kind of thing.
Exhaustion immediately sets in, and he steadies himself on the table, triggering one last trap.
Uh-oh.
The vase tips over, and a golf ball rolls out and down a track, activating a series of Rube Goldberg contraptions. Gwen sees where this is going and pushes them one step to the left, just narrowly avoiding a net that falls where they were just standing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great job, Gwen. They're such a good team.
Sure, Indiana bonehead.
The sound of a gun cocking. Keith spins around and comes face to face with the business end of a blunderbuss aimed by a grizzled old man.
Hey.
I wasn't expecting company.
Exterior circus backstage.
Okay.
Performers are coming and going, warming up and chatting with each other. A firebringer roasts a turkey leg by blowing flames on it and then takes a bite. A high flyer walks past gossiping.
I mean, I don't think that would cook it. It would burn the outside, but the inside still wouldn't be cooked. Whatever, it's fine.
To a sword swallower.
If Julie doesn't shut up about her podcast, I'm literally going to drop her on her head. And it won't be an accident this time.
The sword swallower tries to nod in agreement.
Aren't those like... Those are really high heights. That would be... I mean, that would be a net, so it wouldn't be that bad, but... Still, it's a little dangerous to just drop somebody in the air.
But gags on the sword that's down their throat. Scraggs and Esther duck behind a trailer.
Oh, damn.
Wait. Corey probably accidentally saying Firebringer instead of Firebreather? Did they say Firebringer? Also, I understand why why the uncle didn't answer the door. It must take like 20 minutes to reach it without dying. It's good training.
We stick out like sore thumbs back here.
Esther grabs some disguises off a passing rack of costumes. They wrap themselves in a sequin scarf and put a clown nose on Scraggs.
Oh, they look perfect now.
Esther, this can't possibly work.
A unicyclist rides past them.
Hey, Rod. Hey, Monica.
Alright, let's split up and see if we can find that
Oh,
tinker.
perfect. There are... whatever these are. A clown and... I don't know if the scarves represent. That look exactly like them. What wonderful odds.
Why don't you and Doinky look by the Wheel of Death over there, and I'll go check by the Cage of Death.
They split, but Donkey stays frozen between them.
What's wrong, Donkey?
Doinky, come on, what's wrong?
But what about Mom?
Huh?
Esty is my mom?
No, Doinky. Esther is more like a kooky cousin.
Mommy?
Scraggs, I'm gonna need you to either make it stop or slit my throat right here and now.
Oh boy. Doinky. Doinky, no, you can't. I mean, it's not that surprising that Doinky did that. The first thing Doinky said to Scraggs was, "Are you my daddy?" So, like... Also, the number of costume props Brian had to have by his side for this stream, I would have... He probably had just an entire pile of stuff around him. Just out of frame. Just like, pull it up, put a hat on. I should have props that I... for streams. Oh my god, I just had an idea. Get a bunch of props and I could just like... Boom! That would be so funny.
Just a little separation anxiety. Come on, buddy.
He picks up Doinky and begins a Snoop ballet, gracefully transitioning from one hiding spot to the next. They twirl behind a popcorn cart and appear on the other side, snacking on some popcorn. They Aikido roll over to the corn dog stand and fluidly house a corn dog in one bite. Finally, Scraggs spins around a cotton candy machine, covering himself in fluffy pink candy, which he promptly slurps up in one fell swoop.
Oh, they really are describing this like if it was an actual cartoon. Also, I love the way Joe is pantomiming it. He's doing like the classics like Scooby-Doo when they're like covered in food and they just like one big lick. I should do the prop thing. I gotta get some props. That would be so funny.
Scrags licks his fingers and surveys some tents and trailers.
All right, Doinky. Looks like we just need to get over to.
Doinky.
Doinky?
Scrags realizes he's holding an empty harness. Doinky's gone.
Uh-oh.
Interior Wyatt's
He got left behind.
hallway, simultaneous.
I think.
Keith and Gwen casually stroll down the hallway with Keith's Uncle Wyatt, who is resetting the bear traps.
Were
Hey,
those saw
Wyatt.
blades new, Uncle Wyatt?
Yep. Never get to see them in action, though. Amazon delivery guys don't make it past the bear traps. But
They don't I mean, I feel like you should just tell them to leave the stuff at the doors, you know? How many Amazon delivery guys have you murdered this way?
I like to keep things interesting. Speaking of which...
Wyatt's eyes dart to Gwen.
Oh, right, Uncle Wyatt. This is the love of my life.
I'm his work acquaintance, Gwen Berrywood. We're hoping to talk
Yes,
to you about
who
the
is-
big
who is a-
game trade.
oh,
Pick your
Sorry. Who is a mother, by the way? We still don't know who her husband, or her however many kids she has. They don't matter. She hates them.
brain on ammunition and see if you had a pastel-colored wall that might photograph well, preferably with natural light.
Anything for my most favorite nephew, little Kiki.
Wyatt ruffles Keith's hair. Keith, embarrassed, changes the subject to...
They call his nickname is Kiki. Wait, I love that. Kiki. Also, I think my mom is calling me. I'll be right back. Just wait for me. Actually, I don't have the "I'll be right back" screen. Oh no, this is awful. Wait, see ya. Oh, sorry about that. My mom wanted me to order some Chinese food. I guess she didn't want to cook because it's really, really hot in my house right now. The air conditioning broke, and it's like 90 degrees outside. Outside it doesn't feel like 90 degrees because it has like a really strong breeze, so it's great. In here, we do not have a breeze. I'm relying purely on a fan right now. But all right, let's get back into this.
The huge variety of taxidermy animal busts lining the walls. Some of them are famous cartoon animals.
So, in addition to his excellent traps,
Famous cartoon animals. What cartoon animals do you think were on his wall? There's probably Scooby-Doo on there.
Uncle Wyatt was a world-class huntsman.
You don't hunt anymore?
Well, with regulations increasing every year, it's become harder to hunt exotic animals in the wild. We used to take to the plains and slaughter everything in sight in a furry bloodbath. Oh, how we would laugh.
Gosh, he is a psycho. Garfield's another good one on the wall. I feel like Odie fits better, though. I don't know. I feel like he just has that head that can go on a wall easily. What a weird thing to say. But yeah, I mean, yeah, regulations have gotten pretty strict. Nowadays, you gotta pay a lot of money to be able to hunt stuff. Which, I mean, people say it's really bad still that you can pay money to hunt, like, you know, a lot of animals. But the other side is you're probably not gonna stop them from being able to hunt things. So I don't know.
But the private hunting parks have taken all the joy out of it.
Any chance the animals in those private parks are stolen?
Oh, very likely. But you quickly learn to keep your trap shut, or risk becoming the most dangerous game yourself. Because they'd kill you.
Yes, we get it. It's a reference to The Most Dangerous Game, the novel where they hunt like a human. Because they're the most dangerous game. I feel like it would just be the animals of cartoons of the companies that is financing the animated show. Probably, yeah.
Not unless you killed them first, right?
Wyatt nods gravely as they walk past the bust of a human head.
Keith, don't advocate for your uncle to kill other people. But yes, murder is the solution. What's the question? What's the problem? Doesn't matter.
Head mounted on the wall.
I can't help but notice that you don't have any lions or tigers.
Ah, yes. Big cats. My white whale. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Yeah.
I've slaughtered countless whales. But lions and tigers were the ones that got away. Speaking of which, Kiki, glad to see your...
That's really weird, actually. I feel like lions and tigers are a very, like, common thing to get hunted. Huh.
Finally over that gal you were obsessed with in high school.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that or anything.
Oh, I'd like to hear more.
What was
Uh-oh.
her name? Tiffany? Daphne?
Taffany. Her name was Taffany.
Kiki was obsessed with Taffany. And when she
Taffany.
dumped him, it broke his little heart. Couldn't get him to stop crying for months. Completely destroyed him and some of my favorite rifles.
Of course.
In high school, right, I think the whole, like, Solvent Squad was, like, a middle school thing. So I guess in high school, they went other, like, separate ways. Right? Am I getting the timeline correct here?
Of course. Dermatologists say that tears are incredibly corrosive.
Ooh, she's sharp. Kiki, this one is a keeper. That Taffany girl was a total airhead. Though she did cut a nice figure. And actually, Miss Barrywood, you quite resemble her. Hell, you could even be her mother.
Gwen is immediately irritated.
The ghost.
Ooh. Gwen doesn't look that old, man. Well, I mean, I guess if they were in high school, it's like a past thing. It's like, so I guess you could have. Well, no, not even then. That's like a weird. In high school, you're like 14ish to like 18, so that's still implying you're kind of old.
Of our past. They haunt us forever, don't they?
Wyatt turns to look back down the long hallway at all the creatures he's killed. A gust of wind rushes through the hall, echoing with the voices of the dead animals.
Murderer. I had a family.
That's normal. There's nothing weird about that. That was fine.
Exterior circus backstage, simultaneous. Scraggs is searching for Doinky in a full-blown panic.
Doinky!
Behind a crate, he spots Doinky walking up to identical twin jugglers, throwing clubs at each other.
What do you do?
Get back here!
Oh, hi, little friend.
Juggler 1 puts down his clubs and goes to pet Doinky, who
Doinky's about to bite him. And murder him,
promptly
probably.
bites his hand.
Ah, my hand. I'll never juggle again.
Finally, I'm going solo.
What? You want? We wanted that. By the way, I love. Very funny. The hat is green, so it's like he's. It's keyed out.
Scraggs runs out into the opening and snatches up Doinky, but they are immediately spotted by the clown security officers.
There they are.
Oh gosh, it's the clowns.
The clowns run towards them, but Esther darts out in front, closes an invisible door, locks it, and swallows an invisible key. The clowns bang on the door, unable to get through.
I love these like such goofy solutions. You know, when I went into this, I thought it would be a little more like the original thing where everything's like clearly a live act, but clearly this is designed to be like a cartoon show. So all these like wacky hijinks make a lot of sense. This is the kind of thing that's like right out of like an early 2000s cartoon. It's like, close the door. Now you will never get out, unless you pull out a invisible skeleton key. Oh no! Run!
Esther, Scraggs, and Doinky run around the corner to the animal cages.
You saved me, Mommy!
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I had my tubes tied at 20.
They begin poking around a large empty cage.
I mean, that doesn't mean you can't be mother. It can be adopted. But then again, I don't think Esther's interested in being a surrogate parent for Doinky at all. Which is
Inside are
fair
broken
enough.
chairs covered in claw marks. Signs of a tiger.
Mm.
But curiously, they also find black and orange paint residue and foot-long strips of fur. The ringleader, Mimi, approaches fully...
Wait, what? Does that mean they do have a tiger, but the tiger is not actually a tiger? But if they don't actually have the tiger, that would imply they weren't the ones who stole it.
decked out in a crimson tailcoat and a bowler hat.
Hey,
Hey there.
this area is closed to the general public,
She notices their ridiculous get-ups.
and we don't hold open auditions.
Hi, we're not here to audition, although I can do that thumb trick.
Whoa.
Anyway, could you
See, they're impressed. It's pretty good. It's a good
point
trick.
us toward whoever is in charge here?
Mimi begins to point away, and she slowly brings her arm back around to point at herself, grinning slyly.
Cute.
I thought it was cute.
When your family's been in the circus for generations like mine has, you can't help but clown around.
A musician with a handful of cymbals drops them, making a ba-dum-tsh sound.
I literally did the but I'm chiz in my head. they made it reality.
I'm Mimi, ringleader and owner. But seriously, you can't be here during showtime.
We know. Security's already after us. It's cool. I'm Esther, and this is Scraggs.
Doinky
I feel like just being like, yeah, we know we're breaking in. They're already. I feel like saying that it would not give the ringleader much of a reason to work with you. Is like, what?
jumps on a beach ball and tries to balance, but falls flat on his face.
And that pitiful rat is Doinky. Now, we're investigating a tiger thief in the area, wondering if you've seen anything suspicious, like that right there.
They point to the empty tiger-sized animal cage.
We'll need to see your current registration for your tigers, wherever they are, so we can confirm they're not stolen.
Mimi looks nervously towards the empty cage.
Why don't you step into my office?
Interior, Wyatt's...
I think that they're nervous because they genuinely just don't have a tiger and they've been lying to the public. It is like, see our tiger jump through the flames, and they're like, does that tiger look weird, or have I just never seen a tiger in real life before? Well, I've never seen a tiger in real life. It's probably a real tiger. I feel like that's like the situation here.
and simultaneous. Wyatt stands behind a counter, polishing a shotgun.
So, what can I do you for? 22mm long rifle, 9mm short, a novelty-sized Acme bullet?
We're actually
Ooh.
looking for information about this.
The Acme bullet would be really useful.
Keith plunks the tranquilizer dart from the zoo on the counter. Wyatt examines it with an oversized magnifying glass.
Ah, yes. Looks like you got
Wait,
yourself
I love when like a character with an eye patch just puts up the eye patch and be like, and to get a better look at stuff, because that's reality. A big thing apparently about pirates, you know how they wore eye patches? That wasn't because when they like were missing an eye. That was to keep like their night vision on one eye, so that they can like see in the dark. If you know any changes in light or whatever, just pull it up and get a good look at it.
a big honkin' whopper popper there. Heavy duty shit. You can buy these at any Meijer, Target, or Walmart. Have you called them to cross-reference their recent sales?
Literally exactly what Gwen said, but also they just this clearly takes place in America. You can just buy it wherever. Oh,
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, I suggested that, but Kiki said he had a better idea. So,
okay. There's a bit of an error there with the microphone.
how long would this dart knock out a tiger for?
Long enough to maul them, haul them, and stuff them. Around 12 to 18 hours. But to land one, you've got to get real close to those ferocious felines. This baby can't fly much further than I can. Because I'm on a no-fly list. Point is, whoever shot this dart either knows animals, works with animals, or hunts animals.
Now I'm slightly backpedaling on what I said before about this not being... Well, no, the people at the circus they work with animals. But is this actually going to be the case where the people who had their line stolen are the people who who stole the tiger? And they're trying to like frame the circus in like a roundabout way, so that because the circus is for like the animal shelter, the circus is like their biggest rivalry. So if the circus gets shut down, then pretty much if you want to deal with animals, go to the sanctuary. That's it. That's like what I'm putting together right now. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that certainly narrows it down. Looks like we've finally blown this case wide open.
The shotgun Wyatt was polishing suddenly goes off, blowing a puff of smoke into Keith's face. When it clears, Keith is covered in soot with his hair shooting backward.
Oh, now imagine if that was loaded.
What awful gun discipline.
Interior circus office simultaneous. The trailer is full of circus equipment and the walls are adorned with memorabilia. Esther wobbles back and forth on a small balance board. Scraggs bounces gently on a ball with Doinky on his lap. A chimpanzee sits in a corner of the office doing a crossword puzzle.
There's just a chimpanzee in here? Those are so dangerous. They will maul your face off.
Hoffman and Ring Ting isn't the operation it used to be, but as long as there are ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages who still want to be amazed, the show will go on. To business! I don't have any paperwork for you, because we stopped performing with animals when I became ringmaster.
Well, then, what's with the cage filled with animal fur?
Yeah, it's some kind of lacage à fur.
Exactly.
What?
It's faux fur. We don't own performing animals anymore.
What about the chimp?
Reginald?
I do payroll.
Okay.
Oh. He's one of the talking animals. He's fine. He's just a guy. It's all right. We don't gotta worry about him. Interesting. Well, good to know that the circus has become slightly more moral than it was before. Actually, considerably more moral now that they aren't abusing animals. There still is the, exploitation of people, often referred to as freaks, but that's like a whole complicated thing.
Okay, so the paint and the fur are just some
Theatrical magic, my dear boy. See for yourself.
Out the window, performers in patterned leotards rearrange themselves into different animals with amazing dexterity.
Our secret? French Canadians. Supple and slippery as silk. They can use their bodies to form any shape imaginable.
Any French Canadians in the chat? Is that real?
Tiger, giraffe, elephant, bear, even a hybrid of all four. A tiger-elephant bear. They're so good that audiences forget they're watching six garçons from Montreal.
Listen, I'm gonna be real. That's so much more impressive than actual animals. And considerably more useful. Like, you can work with that really well. Just like... I really want to see a fusion of what they said.
Plus, they're cheaper to feed than the big cats were.
Poutine is ready.
The performers all cartwheel and backflip away.
So, looks like you wouldn't have use for a stolen tiger then.
Esther suddenly convulses and falls off the balance board.
Oh gosh.
Whoa, brain blast.
Gosh, their brain blasts are a little dangerous if they just like fall to the ground. You know some French Canadians? I'll have to ask them. Keep me updated.
Mimi, how much advertising have you been doing? Do most people know you're in town? Has an influencer ever done spawn for your show?
We don't have much of an advertising budget these days, but word of mouth works all right for us.
You don't even post on the internet? Because, like, it's still... it's kind of word of mouth, but it's still, like, a really good way to advertise.
Maybe we can help each other out.
3.
What is Esther's plan here?
Interior circus tent, later that night. Gwen signs autographs for a line of fans as guests clear out from the evening show.
Oh.
A father snaps a picture of Gwen posing with his daughter.
Say, Solve It Squad.
Albert Squad.
Solvent smog.
Hey, that's not what it is. Okay, so they're using the Solve It Squad, I'm guessing, kind of as bait here? Because using their, like, relative popularity in the area to bring more people in. I'm assuming for something. There's clearly a plan here, but I'm like trying to think what is exactly the plan.
Wow. Glad we caught your Insta post, Gwen. You sure gave a single dad a reason to put on pants and do something nice for his little girl.
I just couldn't stand to think of anyone in town missing the rare and nearly extinct Canadian lion.
Technically true. Canadian lion. But also, he said he's put his pants on. Immediately I thought of Be More Chill in the pants song.
She gestures towards the cage in the center of the tent. Inside is a really bizarre-looking lion. Its limbs are lumpy and baggy, and its movements are jerky and erratic.
I can see why. It looks very ill.
Well, as
It's certainly unique, sir.
a character officer Colleen Maxwell, MD, was wont to say, I don't know whether to arrest it or diagnose it.
My ex-wife loved you in that show.
He gives a too big laugh. Gwen
Haha.
groans uncomfortably. Over by the cage, Keith is setting up a net
Oh,
trap
boy.
and watching Gwen intensely.
Guys, when was the last time you remember me telling a really funny joke that made Gwen laugh?
The head of the lion turns to its...
Bro, Keith. Don't make me feel sad for you, man. Just like, it's alright. It's okay.
spot and speaks.
You know what? I'd feel better if we just reviewed the plan one more time.
The butt chimes in.
Please, for the love of a non-existent god, no. I will piss in this suit if I have to hear it again. That's a threat.
It's just
Wait, no, don't tell us the plan. If you tell us the plan, then the way narrative works, the plan will go wrong.
that if Donkey can't fit in the suit with us, I want to make sure he's going to be okay.
Angle and Donkey in an animal carrier strapped to the back of the motorbike next to Keith. He's gnawing at his tail, looking up, ripping off a huge portion of it. He swallows.
Donkey's gonna die by the end of this thing, and it's gonna be his own fault.
He'll grow back.
It
Relax,
won't.
Drax. The little D-bag is safe with me.
He reaches over to the carrier and notices that Donkey isn't inside anymore. He spins around and spots Donkey about to chew on a frayed electrical wire. Gwen snatches Donkey up and returns him to Keith.
Listen, honestly, it would have put Donkey out of their misery. I'm not saying they should have done that, but it would have put Donkey out of their misery. Also, welcome back, Fizzy. Yeah, you left when I said I'll be right back. In your defense, how did the shepherd... No need to say anymore. I understand.
All right, so what's my role?
Okay, let's review. After all, the plan is impressive and complex, like Ocean's 12.
Okay, I mean, now we know the plan is gonna fail. Let's go.
As Keith explains, his fantasy of the whole plan going off without a hitch plays out.
Scrags and Esther are hiding in the lion costume in human centipede child's pose,
Gross.
Kinky.
Bro.
while Donkey are waiting patiently on the motorbike hidden from view. I am gently revving the engine and making that baby purr. My hair
Alright.
is perfectly coiffed. I don't have time for helmets.
I
Please wear a helmet, bro. There's nothing cool about dying in a motor accident.
had to wear a helmet once when I scratched my head until my skull shone.
Okay, once the
Also, I just noticed, Donkey's eyes are X'd out. They're already dead and in the grave. Poor guy.
thieves make their way to the cage and onto the hidden net trap, I twist that torque and pull a sick wheelie across the big top, tightening a rope that tips over this bucket, which pours water down a twisty slide, creating a current down that tiny sailboat, so that the single needle on its bow pricks the butt of the narcoleptic clown, who startles awake, and opens the tubes connected to the helium tank to a bunch of balloons that
Okay.
fill up, lifting the cage formed by a dozen French Canadians far into the sky, setting Reginald free, who walks over and flips the lever, triggering the trap. Uncle Wyatt would be so proud.
What? Wait, and how does this lead to you guys catching the guy who are people who are did any what? Huh?
So my part is after the monkey?
Reginald glares at her.
Gwen, you have the most important job of all. Filming this whole thing so that we can see it go viral on TikTok.
Oh.
And I don't want to risk losing the footage.
Winky, I'm gonna.
All right. I mean, Gwen, you could just put your like self in the frame while you're recording, and be like, it's like, look, we're doing it. We got a plan going. That kind of thing. If you really want to be involved.
Be right here in the cage, okay? You'll be able to see me the whole time.
and if anything unusual happens, I'll be sure to scream.
No, don't do that, Doinky. Just stay quiet, okay?
Yep, okay. Unless I'm triggered by any sudden movement, sounds, or unfamiliar faces.
No. Donkey, you are the worst. I love you.
Then I scream.
No, you idiot. That'll blow our cover.
One of the French Canadians who makes up the human cage speaks up.
So, do we have a time for a smoke before the showtime?
Also, I just realized the French Canadians are the ones making the cage these two are inside of, and no one noticed. Like when the person looked over at the lion, they're like they mentioned how the lion is all lumpy, but they didn't mention anything about the cage, which means that these people have formed themselves so perfectly that the cage looks fine, but these two novices don't look fine inside of the costume. That's wild. That's genuinely kind of crazy.
Interior. Later that night, everything inside is quiet.
Random fade out, okay.
The lion is sleeping in its cage. Inside the suit, Scraggs scrolls through photos on his phone. Behind him, Esther draws a stupid face on Scraggs' ass with a Sharpie. Scraggs finally finds a cute photo of
He doesn't even notice.
Doinky where he's only a little blurry. At the other end of the tent, Doinky is laser focused on his dad in the lion suit. He has a crazed look in his eyes, while Keith sits on the motorbike.
I love the way that he like warps the puppet to make it like a crazy look.
Looking at Gwen's Instagram. He leaves a comment with 2 heart eye emojis. A new comment appears from Sad Dad 77 with 3 heart eye emojis. Keith glares. At the top of the bleachers, Gwen
Keith, you're comparing yourself to Sad Dad of all people. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
considers both comments from Keith and Sad Dad 77. She clicks Sad Dad's profile. It's the father from earlier, and honestly, he doesn't look half bad. On a whim, she likes his most recent post. Interior father's living room, continuous. The father.
Oh gosh. What? This is why you don't interact with people online, man. They'll read too much into everything.
Father lounges on a recliner in a schlubby robe and boxers, staring longingly at Gwen's like. He glances around to see if he's alone and slowly moves in to kiss Gwen's picture on his phone screen. His daughter appears in the doorway behind.
Bro, she just gave your thing a like. That's like, what is wrong with you?
Daddy?
Startled, he throws his phone and shatters a window. Interior circus tent. Continuous.
You really didn't have to do that.
Two cloaked catnappers slink into the big top and creep towards the edge of the trap. Keith pockets
The catnappers.
phone and preps for his big moment. Scraggs finishes his photo caption and posts it. Ding! Gwen has immediately liked the photo. The notification echoes through the tent. The catnappers stop in their tracks.
Damn, Gwen, that was really fast.
Scraggs tenses up and holds his breath. Then, he farts. Right into Esther's face.
Ah, did you really just butt burp into my face?
I'm so sorry. That's such a dumb thing to laugh at. Listen, I'm not going to defend myself. Fart jokes are funny sometimes, alright? Sometimes they're set up really well and they're actually funny. And in this case, I think it was.
Esther shuffles around, wiggling the butt of the lion. Catnapper number 1 takes out a tranquilizer gun. Donkey begins a low growl.
Gee, chill.
Catnapper number 1 shoots the butt.
Oh gosh. Donkey's gonna go feral on them.
Lion.
Ow! What the fuck?
Donkey starts barking and scratching viciously at the sides of his carrier. Keith tries to stop him, but Donkey bites through the mesh and charges at the catnappers.
Gosh, Donkey is strong. They tear through everything.
Donkey, bad shit.
Keith accidentally hits the throttle on the bike hard, and it pops a wheelie, which launches the bike straight into the air before crashing down onto the ground with a...
Yeah, there was no way this plan was gonna work. But also, my goodness, Donkey is like a beast. Bite through the meshes of things, bite through themselves, feels no pain. I'm pretty sure they're literally an undead creature who's come to haunt us.
Huge cloud of dust. The force of the fault immediately collapses Keith's complicated Rube Goldberg machine.
No!
Hearing the noise, Gwen finally looks up from her phone at the chaos. Reginald the chimpanzee sits atop a pile of French Canadians, eating a banana and reading An Actor Prepares.
Also, Gwen, were you even recording? The plane was going off.
Amateur.
Catnapper number 1 steps closer to inspect the talking lion. Esther unzips the butthole, squeezes their torso through, and grabs the dart to check the label.
500 milligrams? Do I look like a squirrel to you?
Scruggs pokes his head out of
Esther is built different, man. So different. Listen, if it can't knock out 14 whales, don't know how they figured out 14 whales specifically, but 14 whales, it's not even gonna register for them.
the lion's mouth.
Go get him, Donkey!
Donkey rushes at catnapper number 2, who makes a hand gesture that immediately stops him in his tracks. He sits and begins licking his wiener.
Ah,
But this is evidence for my theory that the people who are actually behind all of this are the animal sanctuary people, because they knew exactly how to make them react.
Get.
Catnapper number 2 runs off, leaving catnapper number 1 staring down Esther. They shoot Esther with another dart.
I think you underestimate the tolerance I've built up.
Oh gosh.
They shoot Esther again.
Is there even anything in these?
Again.
This is like acupuncture for me.
Esther, get them, please. Do something.
They rapid fire their rounds.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze.
Just then, the net is triggered, snatching catnapper number 1 up. Gwen has pulled
Woo, we got it. We got one. It took a while, but
the lever. She walks over to the dangling criminal.
honestly, Esther was the best part of this plan. The only part that technically worked. Kind of.
Looks like you need a prescription for a stint in the slammer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, I'm sorry. No, don't boo that. Listen, somebody has to give us the quippy quotes. No one else is doing it. It might as well be Gwen.
Interior circus tent later. 2 police officers, Mimi, and the squad stand around the masked catnapper number 1, who's still tangled in the net.
All right, pal. Time to let the cat out of the bag.
He whips off the mask.
Holy crap!
Holy crap!
Actually, now we have 2 people doing the quips. It's Greg as well.
It's the guy
The
from
guy from the
At
zoo guy.
the zoo, right?
I worked at the
Yeah,
Name?
I was right. I knew it.
I have a name. My name's Ken.
Well, not anymore.
Oh yeah, you were a side character. We didn't remember you.
Now you're just another crime statistic to feed into the system. Consider the choices that brought you to this point. Was it worth it? Was it?
Someone's a little testy because their PLAN didn't work out.
I should have known
He can't spell. It's fine. Just don't. It's all right.
that whole zoo versus circus thing was bullshit. Even sounds like a made-up feud. Like Pillow versus Curtain or Mayonnaise versus Dua Lipa.
But why?
Honestly, I believed it. I thought that was like a big reason why I thought it was them.
Steal your own tiger, Ken. Like, you work at the zoo, man. You could pet it anytime you want.
I don't give a shit about the animals. I was just trying to make a quick buck so I could quit this stupid job.
Oh. So Ken is part of them. He's probably, as Keith's uncle said. I'm sorry. I'm like making connections to my brain, and it's like making me sound stupid. Not that I'm not. They probably are selling it, the tigers, to those like hunting places for a lot of money, because it was said before that they are willing to legally buy, and no one will like talk about it.
Well, good news. You've been hired. At prison. The hours are long and the pay is shit. We'll take it from here.
Well, but officers, we still need him to give up the identity of his accomplice.
Don't you worry. We got ways of making him talk.
The officers ask
Could you just ask him first? Like, I don't. This isn't gonna work out, is it? Unfortunately, the Solve It Squad has to rebuild their reputation, and also the police just really, really, really don't like other people solving their cases. They get very upset about that, even though they're trash at solving cases.
escort Kent out.
At least
After
in
a
the
moment,
US.
police officer number 1 steps back in.
He's talking about torture. We're gonna torture the living shit out of this guy. You got that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I'm not sure that's fully legal, but yeah, I got
was
it.
loud and
Yeah,
clear.
there
I
is
was
a
trying to pretend like I
systematic
was
problem with law enforcement in this country.
Yes. Also, torture is like awful and it doesn't work. They'll literally say anything as long as you're like torturing them. I mean, I guess it technically, if they give it up in like the first hour, then it probably works. After that, they'll literally say anything to make you stop.
Yeah.
He exits and the squad is left milling about.
Well, 1 out of 2 bad guys caught. Not bad. 50% success rate, right?
That would be rotten on the fresh meter.
Well, I mean.
Grags, we all agree, and I hate to be the bearer of bad
Then
news,
don't.
but also I don't care what anyone thinks,
Oof.
so Doinky is a liability.
What?
Joinky is on the edge of death. And they're gonna be their own death. They're gonna kill themselves at this rate. And they're gonna eat themselves until they don't exist. They already ate the tail. It's only a matter of time at this point.
Come on, Scrags. All day he's just been a huge obstacle.
Gwen's right. If he hadn't ruined my rock solid plan, we would be TikTok famous right now.
This just isn't gonna.
I mean, your plan was... well, to be fair, your plan still had a decent chance of actually working if Toiki hadn't, like, failed it. I mean, I'm sure it would have failed another way, but this is technically true.
work.
Grags takes a moment to consider. He lifts up Doinky and looks him square in the eyes. Doinky is making the absolute cutest face. This is gonna be hard.
Oh, no. The doggy eyes. The puppy eyes.
Exterior Puppy Ranch the next day. The squad waits impatiently as Scraggs kneels next to Doinky. Rhoda stands across from them, rapidly petting a dog that may or may not be dead.
gosh, this animal sanctuary is rough. But I guess when you have so many problem pets, it is what it is.
A little mutt is tearing away at the hem of her dress. Another is humping her calf.
It's like I always say, dogs are for everybody, but not everybody is a noble person who can take care of another living creature.
You don't have to guilt them. If they can't take care of the dog, you should be like, yes, give it back to me before you make them suffer more.
Are you mad at me, Dad?
No, Doinky, I ain't mad. I never been mad, and I ain't now. That's the thing I want you to know.
But what about Mommy? Does she hate me?
Scraggs turns to Esther, who is nodding their head yes.
Esther, please, at least, actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask you to lie. Just don't do anything. Just don't say anything.
No.
A loud roar comes from behind the barn. A bunch of dogs run around the corner and begin barking incessantly at Keith.
Got a Great Dane out back squirting out a litter of 12. Never.
No, you don't. You have a tiger that you stole from yourself. I know it. I can feel it.
Fuck with a girl boss and all.
Reach, girl.
The barking gets louder and angrier.
Scraggs, can we like wrap this up?
Sure, 1 second. Doinky, I want you to look out past that dog eating a pigeon head out there. And let me tell you about us someday. We're gonna get a little place.
How's it go?
Bro, why are you doing the whole, like, oh my gosh, what's it from? That one book, I read it in school, it really made me sad. It's like, think about the rabbits, something, we're thinking about the rabbits. Oh, just tell me about the rabbits. And then he shoots him dead. Oh, no. You're not, like, gonna execute this dog. You're giving them back to, like, the rescue place.
Can it be?
Well, we'll have a cow, and maybe some pigs, and a chicken, and...
You hate that book so much. Honestly, I hate it. It hit really close to home for, like, reasons. And it really hurt me to read it. And I just thought about, man, if I was in those times, it'd be so sad. It'd be so over for me.
And down the flat, we'll have a little patch of alfalfa.
For the rabbits?
This guy about to shoot my dog or something?
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna... Why are you doing this right now?
More dogs arrive to bark at Keith.
That's right, Doinky. For the rabbits.
And,
Also, what's happening with Keith right now? He's gonna get devoured.
and I'm a rabbit. Right, Scraggs?
Sure.
You're a dog, Doinky. Okay. You can almost see this place, can't you? Right?
Keith is now completely surrounded by barking dogs.
Am I the only one who feels straight up unsafe right now?
Keith, you'll be fine. You're a big guy. It'll take them a while to take you down.
Just can't go there right now. Okay?
What? What did I do?
Rags, please end this.
I know.
Nothing.
Everybody's like, bro, you are making us so uncomfortable. But honestly, who cares? Have your moment. Say goodbye. Making everybody else uncomfortable sucks for them.
You did. It's just who you are.
The barking has reached a climax.
Oh gosh.
Mushu, Dolomite, James Thunder Early, take a chill pill, will ya?
Also, Lauren grinning as she delivers the line is really... Gosh.
Rhoda immediately does a simple hand gesture, then immediately causes all the dogs, including Doinky, to stop barking and start licking their private parts.
What did I say? We have our second culprit. But also, why is that the trick? Dude, why you do the thing and it makes them do that? Can't just sit? You know, is that not a... I feel like that's an easier trick for them to learn, but...
Scraggs catches it instantly.
Can't you see a man's trying to break a dog's heart right now?
Thank you, Rhoda. That sure was a nifty trick.
First thing I teach the little heathens when they land: shut your yap and beat your meat.
You teach it to all the animals staying here?
Sure do.
Why? Why? I don't understand. Again, just teach them how to sit. I feel like that...
What about the zoo's missing tiger you're hiding out back?
Crap.
Freeze, Rhoda!
Everybody... I even like how even Esther is like, whoa. Eyes widened.
She immediately bolts across the yard. Scraggs pulls out his gun and aims. Bang!
Bro, you can... He still has that? I thought you had to give that back.
Rhoda hits the dirt hard. Scraggs looks at his gun, bewildered. He peers back to see Esther twirling the tranquilizer dart gun like a gunslinger.
Ah, thank goodness Esther had a less fatal... Honestly, Scraggs, you should probably have a tranquilizer gun as well. Honestly, you should all have it. No, actually, no. Never mind. I take that back. Only Scraggs and Esther should have a tranquilizer gun. I would not trust literally anybody else with it. It's a lot more useful when you're not trying to kill people, you know?
Lightweight.
Esther shoots a dart into their neck, winks at Scraggs, and lets out a sigh of relief. All the dogs begin to wander over to Rhoda's body and sniff it.
Huh. She really had me with the whole animal lover act.
Well, I, for one, saw right through it.
Bro, don't lie to us.
I mean, this place might as well be a zoo.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a pretty good explanation for why the place is in such bad state. It's because they don't actually care about the pets. I thought it was just because they weren't funded enough. But if they don't care and they're just using it as a front to sell animals, who cares if it's ugly and terrible and all the animals are dying? It's whatever.
It's kind of obvious in retrospect.
More animals come from the backyard and begin to sniff and piss on Rhoda.
Guys,
Are you guys?
when you think about it,
Are you gonna do anything about this?
without Doinky, I mean, knowing that command at the circus, we never would have caught Rhoda. Maybe he's not so useless after all.
Doinky waddles over to the gang, a long turd dangling from his butt and dragging across the ground.
Bro, you have to get that animal trained, alright? He did what... Not even him specifically. Indirectly, he did one good thing. With a lot of bad. Please train this dog, and then maybe we'll consider having them part of the team.
Dad, can I has an idea for the next case?
Let's hear it, bud.
Well, Rhoda's been watching these YouTube videos about 9/11, and they make some pretty good points. I mean, think about it. There's no way that jet fuel could melt and steel inside the World Trade Center, and the Israeli government...
Doinky continues rambling.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never understood that argument. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams? Sure. There is an entire plane hitting the tower. You feel like there's slightly more different... Who cares? My goodness. Also, of course Doinky's a conspiracy. You know what? Now I do want them on the team. I want to hear what their crazy beliefs, as everybody else goes oh, you think that, huh, Doinky?
About conspiracy theories, dragging his poop with him. Scraggs stands up and solemnly looks at the group.
You're right, he's useless.
Attaboy.
That's all it took for Scraggs to be okay, yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay.
The tiger from the zoo saunters out from behind the barn. The other animals scatter as it approaches Rhoda's body. The squad watches, then their eyes go wide.
Oh shit, it's got her foot!
Somebody call animal control!
Keith and Scraggs run off. Esther is laughing uncontrollably. Gwen, staring in horror, slowly pulls out her phone to film a TikTok.
Gwen is literally like Logan Paul to film a dead body, huh? But hey, think of the views that'll give. Also, it's giving Sako from that one Bo Burnham bit, except if Sako didn't have solid points. Yeah, it's Sako if Sako was just insane. Oh, gosh. That was great. Pow. Oh man, that was so good. I love that. Every part of that was great. I could really imagine in my head the kind of cartoon this would be, like obviously adult cartoon, and an actually funny adult cartoon, by the way, which would have been great. Also, the animatic was by Meg Lloyd, who also made the Black Book. Wow. Very talented artist, returning in various stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I had a great time. You know, go check out the original again. As always, make sure to do that. And for YouTube, bye-bye. For Twitch, bro, what a great show. I love that so much. I thought that we were gonna watch like 2 episodes in this, because I was like 1 hour. Not happening at all. This is gonna it's gonna take us a while to get through this show, actually. Meg Lloyd is amazing. Everybody should watch her stuff. It's a good animatic. And that one Nerdy Prudes Must Die, the song Insane Animatic, that's been going, that was by her? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, whoa. She's so good. I love her stuff. I literally immediately I knew exactly what you're talking about. I was like, that's her. I don't really pay attention to the names of or the titles and stuff. Well, I don't know if that's what her channel is called, if it's her name. Whatever. Either way, that's her. That's wild. Oh, it's so awesome to see more of their stuff then. I really hope they make a cartoon out of this, because that'd be so cool. Third Child Art is also the same person, if you see that name around. Ah, okay. I'll keep an eye out. Man, okay, so we're going to continue this, obviously, Thursday. I don't know how we're going to watch the rest of this, because there's still, like, 2 more episodes. There was, like, 4 episodes I saw. Which, I'm thinking, I guess we're just going to continue this for next week, as well. Oh well, it is what it is, and then we'll go to whatever next thing people vote for. I enjoyed this a ton. I really like these, like, reading stuff, and, like, I have to say, their acting really pulls this all together. Because if it was just them, like, reading it out and whatever, like, normally, like, even with, like, the emotion, I feel like it wouldn't be that good. But the fact that they, like, do the running thing and, like, the... it adds so much character to everything. And with, like, the narration, it all comes together in such a way that I really, really, really like. Yeah. I guess that's the end of the stream. We're definitely not going to be able to finish episode 2 in, like, this stream, so Thursday it is. And I hope to see you guys there. Tomorrow, I hope, I will see if I can do something unrelated, like an analog horror reaction. I wanted to do that for a while. I'm kind of giving up a little bit. Because I feel like Wednesdays are so unbelievably cursed that I just, no matter what I do, I can't watch it there. You'll have to miss Thursday. Well, you can watch the VOD later. But, yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Oh, jeez. This is the outro song, toot-toot. This is the outro song, toot-toot. This is the outro. Outro. This is the outro song, toot-toot. This is the outro song. This is the outro song, toot-toot. I sing the outro song. Outro song, toot-toot. Bye. Bye. I didn't do, like, the hand wave emojis because I tested out the thing of making the emojis big, and I think they're a little too big.